Hey strong people, Kalle Beck here from StartingStrongman.com. Go to store.startingstrongman.com for all of your strongman training needs, including ebooks, programs, lifting straps, figure eights from Cerberus, SBD knee sleeves, anything you could want. And if it's not there, go to amazon.com/shop/startingstrongman. On to the show. Today, I'm going to be breaking down the Arnold Strongman Classic, giving you my thoughts on what to expect and my predictions on what I think is going to happen. So the Arnold Strongman Classic is arguably the premier strongman event in strongman.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
There's the debate between that and World's Strongest Man, but the Arnold pays more money, generally heavier. It's really kind of a toss-up on who you talk to. One of the reasons I would say that it is the premier event in strongman is that it's probably the hardest to qualify. You can't get there on merit. You have to qualify. There's qualifiers throughout the rest of the world at all the other various Arnolds throughout the year. And because of this, we're missing one of the all-time, best strongmen in the world. And you're just used to seeing him at the Arnold, and Brian Shaw is not going to be there. There's been a lot of injuries in the sport, and he got second behind Martins Licis at the Arnold Strongman USA, Arnold Santa Monica, whatever you want to call it, that I broke down on this channel. So, no Brian Shaw. Now that we have that out of the way, who is competing? We have Hathor Bjornsen of Iceland. He qualified by winning the 2019 Arnold Strongman Classic USA, so he's looking to repeat. We have Rob Kearney of the United States, who qualified at the Arnold Australia. Bobby Thompson of the United States, who won the Arnold Amateur World Championship. Alexei Novikov was the Arnold Sports Festival South America champion, and he won, I think, Africa too. Then we have Mateusz Kielczykowski, who won the Arnold Sports Festival in Africa. Well, he was a runner-up in Africa, because if someone has already qualified the places ahead of you, the next place goes to whoever. JF Caron of Canada for winning their own pro strongman Forts Warwick champion. Mikhail Shivlikov of Russia, who was the 4th place finisher in Europe. And that is so fitting for Shivlikov. He's always just so unassuming going to the Arnold, and he still ends up being one of the top people there, always in the top 5, never really winning an event, always squeaks in to, doesn't win a qualifier, usually gets there on points, but don't count him out. We have Martins Licis, who, of course, is World's Strongest Man 2019, and he repeated at the Arnold Pro Strongman USA. Arnold Santa Monica sounds better to me, but I guess it's called the Arnold Pro Strongman USA. Then we have Mateusz Belsak of Slovenia, who won via qualifying points, just racking up points by doing all of these. And then Gerry Pritchett, who is second in points, also qualifying with those wild card spots. The alternate is Ronald Hanla, which it's unfortunate he's not competing, because I was really hoping to see him go on the elephant bar. Belsak really beat up. Who knows if people? There's been speculation on if he's going to pull out, and maybe Hanla could get a spot, but I really doubt that. Belsak's gonna, do his best, and hopefully he's healing up. He needs a little bit of time off to heal up his hip, but the show must go on. The Arnold's the biggest day. Even getting 9th or 10th or whatever at the Arnold's a good payday for these guys, so no one's gonna miss it. Now we go into the events. And I'm going to go through each event and describe what they're about and how I think the various strongmen can go in each event, and who the front runners, what they need to do in these events in order to actually win the contest. So the first day is Friday, March 6th, starting about 2 o'clock to 5:30 p.m. and it's a trial by stone. And from what I understand, there's going to be 6 stones. The first 2 you have to clean and press over your head. I think the second one is about 160 kilos, which is 330, 40 pounds, something like that. Correct my math. Then you have to load 2 stones, and then you have to walk 2 stones. I think it's awesome doing like a big old stone medley and doing new things, which I'm going to get to later. But these are the kind of events that I think signify strongman. Just making new stuff. Can't just do the same event over and over like a max deadlift, please. Then we're going to do a bag over bar. That is going to be, of course, the Rogue Strongman TM sandbag, where they have to, I assume it's going up in max weight again. And Hathor, let's go back to the trial by stone. I think in that event, watching Mateusz Kieliszkowski do that, pressing the stone, knowing how good he is at shouldering the stone, I think he is absolutely the man to beat in that event. Cleaning and pressing a stone is going to be challenging for some of the guys. It's a very technical event. You need to be explosive. You don't want to drop the thing on your face. So just because someone is generally a good presser doesn't mean they're going to be good at this. And then they also have to be good at picking up and loading stones, and moving with them. So if you just are good at pressing, it's not going to really do you any good, because those are the only the first 2 implements. But I think Kieliszkowski is the man to beat. The only reason I would say that there's any doubt in that is that he did detach his bicep in November. I mean, not even 6 months ago. But going by his training footage, it hasn't seemed to affect him at all. I'm someone like Hathor Bjornsen, he has the block stone he done at Lone Mountain, like 330 pound press with like a more of a block shaped stone. So he's good at it, but he kind of is a little unstable at the top with events, with pressing events. Even his log, his foot shifts a little bit. So that could be something where it's not quite, you would think he's going to be dominant in that event, but I have a little bit of concern. Or even someone like Rob Kearney, who's a phenomenal presser. How good is he at balancing the stone overhead? We have to wait and see. And then you also have to then load and carry them. And some of them might be big. And Rob being 5'10", it could be a problem. I'd expect Kieliszkowski to do well in this. Shivlikov's always crafty, but he sometimes has issues. Martins is great at stones, and a little explosive, but I'm just not really sure what to expect as far as him pressing the stone. And I think Novikov could do very well in this event as well, just being a more explosive athlete. There's 2 ways you can pretty much with a stone press. You either need to be a super static guy where you just don't even move and you can press it at all, and that's going to be like Hathor, or you need to be someone who's just so good at generating leg drive and also dynamic like Kieliszkowski. So, but it's definitely a wild card event. But I'm picking Kieliszkowski to win that event. Then we go to the bag over bar. We've seen this in past events. I think it's a pretty boring event. You have a black stage, a black background, a black cross bar, and a black sandbag. You can't really visually. It's not very appealing. I think the feat of strength of showing, and all the bags kind of look the same. They put the 80-pound bag there. It looks the same as the 100-pound bag. It's cool. I have a Rogue Strongman sandbag, throwing bag, which I'm going to do a review on shortly, and I think it's a cool training event. But kegs are just cooler, but Rogue doesn't sell them, do they? I don't think anyone's touching Hathor Bjornsen in this, and the only person that's kind of given him a run in the past is Brian Shaw in this event, and there's no Brian Shaw. People sleep on Shivlikov, who is very good at bag over bar. This is where Martins struggles. We saw him improve a little bit in Santa Monica, but overall just wasn't up there. And now we're with the 10 finalists, and everyone's going to be going all out. I think he'd drop even more points comparatively than he did in Santa Monica. But I think that's going to be a big event win for Hathor. Kieliszkowski has to be in the top 3 in this event, and with no Brian Shaw to knock him down, he could probably be up there. But Shivlikov's going to be sneaky and get big points here. So then we go on to the Wheel of Pain. And from what I understand, they have to push it with their arms out this time. I think that favors some guys with a little bit more shoulder girdle rigidity, and also people that just are bigger. I think Hathor is going to be really good in this event now that people have kind of practiced it. Martins, did phenomenal in the event last year. I really thought Kielszkowski with his, I'm going to be a little crude here, but he has a giant pair of glutes. You would think that would really help him on this event. And I mean, have you ever seen that guy in a pair of gray sweatpants? I have at the Arnold, and you're like, Jesus. But that's why he's so great at pressing. I mean, more strongmen need to do there. But last year he underperformed, but I think he's going to do a lot better on it this year. And I pick him to win the event. Last year he had a knee injury, and you imagine doing the wheel of pain where you're pushing this event. It goes in a circle, and you never can build up any momentum, and your knee's messed up. It's not going to go well. And I think but yeah, I'd say top 3 in that event are Lisi's, Hathor Bjornsen, and Mateus, with Novikov right up there. And that's who I'm picking as well. I think it's a tougher event for some of the guys like Rob Kearney, Bobby Thompson, who's just so he's so big. You got to work on your cardio for that. But yeah, I think it's going to be another event win for Kielszkowski. I think you can see where I'm going with this. But after the bag throw, Martins, he went out fired up for this event last year and gave it everything. Really liked how he trained. He could win it as well, and he's going to need to after the bag throw, unless he's significantly improved his bag throw. Then we go on to Saturday, starting from noon to 3. We have the Rogue Elephant Bar Deadlift. I think we know how this works. It's another max deadlift, and if someone pulls 501 kilograms, they make $50,000. Barring injury, I don't think anyone's touching Hathor on this event. The best bet is Gerry Pritchett, who, he could. He just seems like his max pull's just been a little off, but maybe now he's healed up. It just depends on how healthy he comes in, but I think he's going to be second. Had some hamstring issues last year. Hopefully Jerry's in top form and can push Hathor, because Hathor pretty much said if he can win the event on his second attempt, he'll do his third to try to do the 500, to get that sweet money and make discussions all over the internet just lovely for the next forever on if it beats Eddie Hall's record or anything. And if you want my opinion on that, watch my video, should an elephant bar deadlift count as a new world record, which I did last year. Not going to go into it more than that. I think he'll be right up there. JF Karan could be over 1,000. Rob Kearney's looking super strong on the thing. I think he wants to be the lightest person to ever pull 1,000, and I think it's very likely. Just depends on how the attempts go, how beat up everyone is after the first day. You end day 1 doing a wheel of pain and just getting all your body just pumped full of blood, pushing that thing for 60 straight seconds, and then you wake up feeling nice and fresh, I'm sure, and have to do a max deadlift. But yeah, I think he could be right up there with that. JF Karan, Shivlikov will probably get another epic nosebleed. He was in the upper 9s with that. But I think overall the weights that we expect for this are going to be down because it's on day 2 and it's the 4th event instead of the first event of day 1. But I'm super happy about that, because putting it as the first event on day 1, it just totally beats up the athletes. And then you have the show isn't as good the rest of the events as they could be. And this is the big event for Kielszkowski. His deadlift looked much improved at World Ultimate Strongman, where he pulled 420 kilos, or just over 900 pounds. As long as he's recovered and he can place above a couple of the other guys, and if he get like 6th, which looking at this, he can maybe place above Belsack, maybe Novikov, maybe Bobby Thompson, maybe Rob Kearney. Like, it's possible. I think a couple of those guys are going to place above him, but if he's really improved and he's gotten his deadlift up to, like, let's say 950, 960, and some other of the athletes do too big of a jump to go like 970, or like, let's say Rob, instead of going like 970 just a beat, get a couple places, tries for the 1,000, or, you know, you do some less strategic jumps. Mateus could go 6th in this event, and if he does that, I think he will be setting himself up really well. It'd be interesting to see where Martins ends up in this event. You know, he's been flirting with 1,000 before, but I really don't think there's going to be too many 1,000-pound deadlifts out here. I think Gerry might, JF maybe. You know, he's done it before, and Hathor will if needed, but I think it's going to be more there's going to be a big bundle in the upper to mid 9 range at this show, just because it's on day 2. But the big thing is here is, can someone deadlift over 501 kilograms? I'm going to say no. I don't see it happening at this show, with it being a day 2 event. And can Kielishkovsky not lose too many points in order to win the Arnold for the first time? Then we go on to the timber carry. Gerry Pritchett, do not count him out on this event. He always is good at the timber carry, super underrated. He's got it down. Hathor's right up there. Martins has a phenomenal grip. I'm picking this to be the top guys: Hathor, Kielishkovsky, Pritchett. I think I'm curious to see how Novikov does on the event, and I think it's going to be a tougher event for Kearney and Thompson, just being, you know, they're not the tallest guy competitors, and Belsack as well. And, you know, this will be a very pivotal event, because any 3 or 4 guys could take it. I'd say the front runners in the whole contest, this isn't rocket science, everyone knows this here, are Martins, Hathor, and Mateus. And how that all ends up, and who ends up in between who, will be big. And from here, we'll really know what to expect. I think there's going to be a big jump and a big regression from, like, let's say Martins and Hathor jumping ahead of Kielishkovsky. I think people are going to go, oh, it's over, he's out. But I think the timber carry can really change things up, and that's when we're going to have a good feel of what to expect going into the last event, and who's going to end up winning the Arnold Strongman Classic. And I love the last event. It's you know, they get a couple hours rest. They do it on the main stage. The only problem with that, you can't see it unless you buy tickets to the finals, which is part of the bodybuilding. And honestly, it's really not worth it. I've done it. I've been there before when I was press, and you end up spending a decent amount of money to watch like a few strongman events, and you have to sit there forever. And, you know, the seats are kind of staggered. You probably don't even have that good a view. So just watch the live stream on, you know, Rogue does a phenomenal live stream. But, you know, expo tickets get you to see every other event, just normal expo tickets, other than the Sears Strategic Dumbbell Challenge. And this is an interesting event where they have it should be about 274 pounds dumbbell. You can press that one, or you can press the new Challenge dumbbell, which I think is right under 330 pounds. I don't remember exactly what it ended up being. I think it was 328. But any reps with the bigger dumbbell beat, you know, any rep. Like if you do one rep with the heavier dumbbell, it beats 10 with the lighter. We've seen this with the Austrian Oak and the Feather Log in the past. Nothing new. I love this format. With it being on the stage, this is very crucial, but I'm not sure if they're going to run everyone through with the bigger one, and then they get a break if they miss it, and then they get to do the second. Usually when it's been on the main stage, they're like, oh crap, I can't do that one. They move right into the other one under the same time. And that could really screw up some athletes if they fail the challenge dumbbell and have to go straight, and then like are already gassed by, trying to lift it twice, picking up 300, basically 150 kilos, 330 pounds to your shoulder over, stabilizing it, blowing your shoulders out. Your core's already done by having to do, the previous events over the last 2 days. It's almost worse with that little 3 hours of rest, I'd say. But I think the only person I really see getting that challenge dumbbell is the world record holder in the event, Mateusz Kielczykowski. Oh, I really butchered that time. And it's just, will that be enough to win him the overall after losing points on the Arnold? I'm going to say yes. I'm picking him to win, picking up his first major world title. And it really just depends on, I think Hathor could maybe get the the challenge dumbbell. Maybe a couple other guys. We got some big pressers out there. Bobby Thompson's a big log presser. Rob Kearney's a big log presser. But sometimes when you're a big presser, the dumbbell isn't quite the same. Novikov's very good at it, but I think he's more, I haven't really seen him do too much heavy dumbbell work. I could be wrong. But yeah, my pick is that Mateusz Kielczykowski ends up being the Arnold Strongman Classic champion for 2020. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and hit subscribe for more Arnold updates, more Strongman updates, everything you need to know for Strongman. And of course, you can follow at Starting Strongman for, as the show goes on, putting updates across social media. And if you want to follow my personal account, you can follow at Let Kalle Lift across social media.